Hey there, this is Jenn Dize with Status Coup, and boy do we have some news for you. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers has ordered the delay of Tuesday's election to June. As you know, this was a big contentious issue among Democrats, with Bernie Sanders calling for its delay and Joe Biden saying some interesting things that we will get into. Before I dive into all of that, I have some news for you. Before I get to the story, I just want to take care of some sort of housekeeping things. Jordan is not feeling well. So Jordan has a low-grade fever. It's been rising a little bit. He has a cough, which he says today is getting a little bit better. So you won't see Jordan going live for the time being because we want him to rest and get better. He's working on things in the background, working really, really hard on hopefully something we can announce very, very soon. But in the meantime, he won't be showing up on your screen. So I'll be doing some videos, and I urge you to consider supporting Status Coup because we're definitely going to lose a little bit of money with not going live as much and things like that. So we have something real special going on for you. Again, before I get into the news, which is worth sticking around for, we have, for a limited time, set it up so that you can become a member of Status Coup with a free trial. So you can join today and get 2 weeks free. We actually did a great members call yesterday, which we will make available to everyone. Even if you missed it, you can sign up today and get access to the recording of that call. You get behind the scenes video diaries from Jordan, who's in quarantine right now. And you'll get the archive of all of our reporting, behind the scenes reporting, videos, video diaries, photos, everything we've posted to this point, you get. And you can join for free, statuscoup.com/join. You get a free 2-week trial. After that, it is just $5 a month. You can cancel at any time. You can cancel before you're charged a penny. So we set this up to make sure that everyone who wants a taste of Status Coup membership can get their hands on it. So definitely join statuscoup.com/join, and definitely keep Jordan in your thoughts, and hopefully we'll have him back on the air very, very soon. Now, let's go back into talking about Wisconsin. It is fantastic news that they are delaying this election. It is absurd that they were going to go ahead with it in the first place. So let's get more into the details here. This is a story out of the AP by Scott Bauer and Steve Peoples. Again, this is breaking news as I record this. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers on Monday issued an executive order to delay the state's presidential primary for 2 months because of the coronavirus pandemic, a move that will almost certainly prompt a court challenge and inject new uncertainty about whether the election will move forward. Evers, a Democrat, had previously opposed moving Tuesday's election, which you have to ask yourself, who on earth would oppose moving this election? We are in the middle of a pandemic. Are these people nuts? You have to think so. But he's pushing to delay it until June 9th amid criticism about how in-person voting can proceed safely at a time when public health officials are discouraging groups of people from gathering to avoid spread of the virus. Some poll sites have already closed because nervous volunteers are unwilling to staff them. Of course they're not willing to staff them because they might get coronavirus. Evers had been unable to strike a deal with Republicans to reschedule the election. His order comes after the GOP-controlled legislature refused his request to cancel in-person voting on Tuesday. The Wisconsin election is being viewed as a national test case in a broader fight over voter access in the age of coronavirus, with major implications for the presidential primary contest ahead and possibly the November general election. The order, which Evers had previously said he didn't have the legal authority to make, was expected to face an immediate challenge to the Wisconsin Supreme Court, which is controlled 5-2 by conservative justices. One of them is on the ballot Tuesday and has not participated in other election-related legal fights, narrowing the conservative majority to 4-2. The Evers order came as a separate legal fight was pending before the U.S. Supreme Court. While several states had scheduled primaries in recent weeks, Wisconsin had been alone in moving ahead with in-person voting in the midst of the pandemic. Evers' earlier insistence on moving ahead was even more extraordinary given that he had issued a stay-at-home order and closed all non-essential businesses. Dozens of polling places have been closed. So, in the midst of a stay-at-home order and closing non-essential businesses, he was still going to go ahead with this election. This is highly, highly concerning behavior, and it is not the behavior of a leader, certainly. Very concerning. So, you can read this article in full. I'm not going to read it all to you. This quote here, no matter what safety precautions you take, there's going to be exposure. Who knows who comes into the polling place? And that is George Junst of Madison, who is a former attorney for the State Elections Commission. And that was his take on it. And that should be any person's take on this. Everyone with a brain, that should be their take on this. No, we shouldn't be having in-person elections right now. Just no. And here's why. So right now, we have 356,007 coronavirus cases in the United States. We have passed the 10,000 death mark at 10,467 deaths. 19,247 have recovered. I don't know if this refreshes on its own. So yeah, I just refreshed it and there you go. This situation is not good. I don't want to fearmonger, but people are getting sick. New York City in particular. Obviously, we're talking about Wisconsin in this instance, but New York City is kind of the test case for a scenario that could play out in cities all over the United States. Jordan, who knows? He's sick right now. He's sick with the symptoms. So I don't know if he has it. Right now, he's going to be speaking to a doctor through, telemedicine, telehealth. I don't know. I'm worried. I'm sure maybe you have symptoms. Maybe you have coronavirus. Maybe you know people who have. This is a very serious thing. Nobody should be thinking about voting in person right now. So thank goodness for this. But you know who was a leader on this issue? Not Joe Biden. Not the presumptive Democratic nominee, Joe Biden. Who was a leader on this was Bernie Sanders. 5 days ago, so I got this as all press did that is on Bernie's list, 5 days ago, April 1st. News, Sanders' statement on Wisconsin primary. Senator Bernie Sanders on Wednesday issued the following statement ahead of Wisconsin's April 7th primary. People should not be forced to put their lives on the line to vote, which is why 15 states are now following the advice of public health experts and delaying their elections. We urge Wisconsin to join them. The state should delay Tuesday's vote, extend early voting, and work to move entirely to vote by mail. While we wait for a decision, we urge our supporters to vote by mail. Now that is a leader. That is someone who is looking at this pandemic and understands its gravity. Bernie Sanders. You know who doesn't understand the gravity of this? Or at least who doesn't show that they care and all they seem to care about are votes? Joe Biden. Let's take a look at what he was on national television saying about the Wisconsin primary, this former Vice President Joe Biden. It's disgusting. Let me prepare you for that.
Now having its primary on Tuesday, your opponent, Senator Sanders, has said that should be put off, but Governor now joined that chorus as well, but it looks like it's going to happen. Is that wise?
Well, look, I think they should just follow the science. You know, what I've been hearing, I've been following like you have, like everybody has, watching the court action. Is still in court now, but I think whatever the science says is what we should do.
And does that hold for the convention as well? Are you open to the idea?
Joe Biden is saying, let's follow the science. Well, the science is clear. So, Joe, why couldn't you just come out and say it? Why couldn't you come out like Bernie Sanders did and say, this is not a good idea? We need to delay this, or we need to do something that is not in-person voting. This clip gets worse.
That it just may not be possible to do the convention in August?
Well, we're going to have to do a convention. May have to do a virtual convention. I think we should be thinking about that right now. The idea of holding a convention is going to be necessary, but we may not be able to put 10, 20, 30,000 people in one place, and that's very possible. Again, let's see where it is. What we do between now and then is going to dictate a lot of that as well. But my point is that I think you just got to follow the science. Listen to the experts. Listen to the Faucis of the world. And if that's the case, it's the case. But we cannot let this. We've never allowed any crisis from the Civil War straight through to the pandemic of 17, all the way around 16. We have never let our democracy take second fiddle. We can both have a democracy and elections and at the same time correct the public health. But I think it's time we start thinking about how we're going to hold elections, whether we're going to have to and spend a lot of time figuring whether we do, is it going to mostly be by mail, which is not the preferred route for everyone? How are we going to do that? How are we going to make it available to everybody? And I think that...
Wow. Just an absolute lack of leadership, an absolute lack of character, in my opinion. He's talking about the fact that we've never let anything get in the way of our democracy, which of course is not true. But he's also implying that people should get out and vote in person. Let's let the science decide, he said a couple of times. We've never let anything get in the way of our democracy, he says. Well, this is a pandemic. No one should be voting in person. Tony Evers made the right call in the end, and Bernie Sanders was a leader on this issue. So we will continue to update you on what happens out of Wisconsin. We wish we could be in Wisconsin. Of course, we cannot right now. No one's going anywhere. And once again, Jordan is sick, so I will be doing videos, posting videos, doing lives and things like that while he rests some. And even because he's Jordan, he's still working really, really hard behind the scenes on something major. So keep Jordan in your thoughts. If you want to send him some words of encouragement, do that at info@statuscoup.com. But also, I really think what would make Jordan feel better and what would make you feel better is becoming a member of Status Coup. statuscoup.com/join. We have this great free trial offer. Join right now and pay $0. statuscoup.com/join. And then after 2 weeks, you will be charged just $5 a month, or you can cancel before then. So it works out great for everyone. I'll be back with more updates and news for you very, very soon. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.